Alright guys, welcome back to another day here across the Chicagoland area, and we're going to be doing a live weather update based on the significant severe weather that's going to be happening today across southeast Iowa into northern and northwest Illinois. There is a higher tornado potential that actually does go in the Chicagoland area, which they do highlight that 5% tornado risk. I slightly do or do not agree with it. It just depends on how far north that boundary does lift. And where that mesolow is. Right now, technically, the mesolow is across portions southwest Iowa. It's going to be coming east more pretty soon over the next few hours. And by afternoon hours, we'll see some supercell development happening across southeast Iowa and northwest and northern Illinois. So our dynamics today are pretty decent with modest wind shear, really strong instability, southeasterly surface winds along the outflow boundary. In the actual main warm funnel boundary itself across the area. Any storm that does route to that boundary definitely hold a tornado risk, which they did try yesterday. I think today definitely has a higher ceiling for that, just because of the dynamics that are in place and how this boundary is coming out and how strong the instability already is. There's like already 3,500 instability on northern Missouri and southwest and southern Iowa border. That's going to be coming east northeast slowly today. But that's our tornado risk right here across the area. Even the 2% tornado risk to green there goes all the way into portions of southern southwest Michigan for late this evening to overnight hours. And you got the main 5% tornado risk, which is across this area, obviously. And that's what the area that we're watching for significant severe weather. They do keep the hail risk over here across portions of southeast Iowa. For very large hail into Devonport, southeast Iowa, and portions of eastern Iowa, and then obviously they have the wind risk here across a large portion here. So there is the possible chance we are going to see that mesolow here come out of the area. There's going to be that warm funnel boundary that kind of lifts how far north it does. So we'll have tornadic supercells here developing across this area, obviously, but as that mesolow goes push off to the east, northeast, or off to the east, could be more of a dominant damaging wind threat, turn into like an MCS type of deal, as it does travel east into overnight hours with some very flooding rains over the same areas that seen like 2 to 6 inches of rainfall yesterday across eastern Iowa and northern Illinois. So watch out for that to see how that potential does fold out, obviously. And we'll go from there. Let's go ahead and shut this off. And then we have the flooding rain risk. Obviously today you got the slight risk for flooding rain here for excessive rainfall. There is a slight risk for excessive rainfall across portions of eastern Iowa, northeast Missouri, and northern northwest Illinois. Excessive rainfall outlook does indicate it to some. Most of these areas in the yellow area will pick up anywhere between ½ an inch to 3 or 4 inches or more rainfall today into the overnight hours. So that's what we're watching out for there. And here's your current temperatures across a large portion here and ongoing storms, obviously. But we got 72 over 70 here across Devonport and the Chicagoland area, sitting at 77 degrees with a 71 dew point. So it's very humid out there because we just had a ton of rain across this area yesterday. So once the sun comes out and heats up the atmosphere and the ground, that moisture is going to lift and those dew points are definitely going to rise. So it's going to be very humid today. I want to surprise some areas see dew points 74 in some areas. So it's going to be very, very humid. Peach watts are going to be pretty high. That's why there's going to be a lot of flooding rains once these storms do get going and start moving off to the east, northeast, or off to the east. Let's go ahead and check out our data and current visible satellite. Excuse me. So here's our visible satellite here. You can see where that warm funnel boundary is right there. Hold on. Excuse me. You see there's where that warm funnel boundary is. There's warm air convection on the north side of the boundary developing there, north of I-80 right there. You can see that there's cumulus field right here developing underneath that. excuse me, there's already cumulus air developing across portions of southeast Iowa coming north with that deep layer of moisture as well. So we could be going into western Illinois and play near eastern Iowa. Keep sneezing. But we'll keep watching the visible satellite for different trends. This is the RFS model, showing the trend a little bit more further back west. But obviously, other supercell storms developing across portions of western Illinois and eastern Iowa would probably be the better target for tornadic supercells later on today. Eastern Iowa, western Illinois. Finally got it out. But watching how this boundary does come up, all these 70 dew points and everything in place, there's a good chance that a lot of these supercells here will be possibly tornado producers and very large hail producers. Back out of this, go to the HRRR model here. And you can see the mesolows back here. You got southeast southerly, southeasterly surface winds out here across portions of central eastern Iowa. Now, I think the HRRR model is still underestimating a few things here, so I'm going to go over to the NAM3CAM because the NAM3CAM handled yesterday a lot better than what the HRRR did. And I do agree with the NAM3CAM with its areas where storms are developing the tornado potential here across portions of southeast Iowa, and therefore you get these soundings right here across the area. A little bit of a VBV field in the higher upper levels. I don't think that's going to split storms or keep them from recycling over and over again. Your low level wind field is pretty strong and very nice turning. But I think I agree with the NAM3CAM more. Higher moisture as well because it's been a ton of rain yesterday and the HRRR model is just over mixing way too much. But I do like that 850 millibar jet streak here coming into the Iowa-Missouri border, and that kind of spreads over the environment out ahead. Very high and extreme Cape values. So we're going to be jumping west here on I-80 and just keep going west and figure out where we're going at this point. Good chance a lot of these tornadic supercells here develop across southeast Iowa and western Illinois. Could be in open rural areas, just especially around the Davenport area, but I do think there's definitely a good chance of seeing tornadoes today based on what I'm seeing here at these trends. Definitely supportive. But, yep, that's what we're currently dealing with here. We're just going to keep watching these trends. I'm curious what the RAT model is currently saying with the environment. Yeah, the RAT model pushes it eastern Iowa, southeast Iowa. And that's what the RAT model has. The RAT model does also have explosive supercell development across eastern Iowa and northern northwest Illinois. But I think the better low level wind shear does develop a little bit later into the late afternoon and early evening hours. So we'll see which model is right at this point. I think I'm going to start off pretty much over here. Pretty sure I'll take I-80 down west and kind of just wait somewhere across this area for the first initial supercells to develop. There's a chance that they could develop along the boundary way out ahead across portions of northern Illinois out here, across the northwest and western suburbs of Chicago out here near Rockford and Rochelle. There's the chance that that does happen, and I'm over here and that happens, and then all of a sudden those go tornado producers too. But I'm gonna start heading west on the I-80, get ready, and then go from there. And I'll bring you guys more live weather updates later on throughout the day. But that's what I'm banking on right now, currently, based on current mesoanalysis data and everything else that I'm currently seeing. I also do like that clearing that's also developing with that cumulus field here riching in right there underneath the high level clouds. You see that? See that cumulus field? Really nice agitated cumulus there, pushing off to the east pretty quickly. So we got to jump on that, get west. It's definitely going to go pretty decent today with explosive supercell development along that boundary. So stay tuned, be safe, and we'll talk soon.